Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome to another video on high altitude investing. If you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Today we're going to be going over Ethereum and my thoughts on the price. Now, the reason that I picked Ethereum is because Ethereum is number 2 in total market capitalization. It has held its dominance very well through the bear market, meaning that as far as altcoins go, it's stayed up here in the market capitalization. There's also some changes to the Ethereum website, which I really love. It looks a little bit different than the release when it used to say Ethereum Homestead, and there was just a completely different look than what we see today. The website now is a lot more minimalistic. You can press play right here and you get this awesome little Ethereum logo animation where it gets turned into all different styles, cartoon versions, geometric versions with unicorns, and this interesting little sun geometric pattern right here. So that's all really cool. The website is way more minimalistic than before. You can just click right here, look at what Ethereum is. If you look on the website, it actually says Ethereum is a foundation for a new era of the internet, an internet where money and payments are built in, an internet where users can own their data and your apps don't spy and steal from you, an internet where everyone has access to an open financial system, and an internet built on neutral open access infrastructure controlled by no company or person. Which sounds really amazing, but this has to be implemented properly. We have to make it so that it isn't confusing. One of the things with blockchain and cryptocurrency that I would love to see happen in the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years, and which I totally expect happening, is the infrastructure to change, the graphical user interfaces to change, an ability to simplify transactions, fix the problem of being able to send a transaction into oblivion, and really just make it so that older people, so that it isn't just the younger generation that are extremely tech savvy, can use this technology. Because for one world currencies, for an internet that allows us to have our own data where it doesn't get stolen or sold from company to company or we're spied on, that type of infrastructure has to be easy to use for the older generation. And one thing that I have learned along my crypto journey, you guys, is that some of this stuff is easier for the younger generation to get their hands on, and some of the older folk that I've tried to show how to use this stuff get a little bit more overwhelmed easily, which is okay for now while we're in the developmental stages. But simplification is something that I'm focusing on in my channel, and something that I think cryptocurrency as a whole needs to do, so that we can have all of these things that Ethereum is set out to be, and it can be usable for everybody. So let's just go ahead and get right into the video. So as I was saying, Ethereum is number 2 in total market capitalization. I have been in the cryptocurrency game for a while now, you guys, and I actually remember when Ethereum was added to Poloniex, and I actually remember this day that the price it was added to Polo, and it just dumped. And then I also remember this first Ethereum cycle here, when we went from just under 50 cents up to the $21 level. I made some money actually trading Ethereum, especially once it started to break out to $6, and from $6 all the way up to the $14 level. I remember all of this happening. Little did I know what was coming. If I would have known what was coming, I would have sold everything I possibly had and put it into crypto. But Ethereum went from these extremely low prices of 50 cents all the way up to the valuation of $1,400, and retraced back down to the $90 level. So that is quite a drastic market cycle, but it's also not that crazy. If you've been in the crypto space for a minute, or even if you just have looked at maybe penny stocks or anything that has a low market capitalization, you'll notice that volatility is natural and a part of the game. If you look at like Forex markets, for example, Forex markets, There's an entire country behind the US dollar. It's called America. And that country's economy is partially represented from the value of the US dollar. And so in the Forex markets, you get these teeny swings every day, small percentages. And the reason for that is because the market capitalization, there's so much money in the market that it's like a large boat at sea. When you have a huge boat in the ocean, it takes a lot of energy to move that boat. But if you just have like a little speedboat, you can think of crypto like little speedboats, at least right now. In the future, it'll be more like a big boat as the infrastructure gets built. But right now, cryptocurrency is like little speedboats. They can zip 50,000% or 20,000% or 1,500% on the upside, and then they could turn right back around and zip back to another country and drop 84% on the downside. And that's just the name of the game. That's just how crypto is right now and currently. So I really want you guys to keep that in mind, because what happens is it creates more emotion. I mean, again, back to the boat analogy, if you're in a cruise and you're just going along in this cruise and you're just barely moving, I mean, the most exhilarating thing is going to be watching people dance at night on the dances, or going over and seeing people in the casino, or trying out, maybe they have a surfing station where you can surf the waves on the cruise boat on one of those little virtual surfing sections. And that's going to be the most exhilarating thing. But if you're on a speedboat and you go from 0 to 60 like that, then that's going to be extremely exhilarating. And that's the best analogy I can come up with for the crypto markets as a whole. Is you guys are on a speedboat right now. You're going to be going super fast some days, and you're going to be dropping in speed significantly other days. And until cryptocurrency goes back above that $800 billion market cap level that we rejected from, everybody knows so well, going over to the market capitalization chart, until we get back above this peak in total market cap that we saw around the $815 billion level, things are going to be kind of slow. It's going to be kind of fast, like a speedboat. Lots of market capitalization as we mature, or low market capitalization, as we mature in the crypto space, and as we get up above that $800 billion level, and prices grow, that volatility is going to decrease, and you'll see that in the percentages. So enough about the percentages and the speedboat analogy. Let's get into the analysis of Ethereum as a whole. So first of all, as far as Elliott wave analysis goes, this is an ABC correction. We have an A wave down to this level. We got a B wave back up to a nice resistance level. And we had a C wave down at the $90 level. We have then formed the first market structure, the first Elliott waves up here, and the first corrective waves as well. So if we kind of zoom in and drop down right here, we can actually see that Ethereum did another cycle. So this is a 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse up, and our corrective phase afterwards. So that ABC correction back down to this lower support. Now, this support level that we're testing right now, the support of Ethereum at current prices, lines up with the support of the first sell-off in the market cycle. So in market cycle analysis, whenever a market, we'll just come over here into the oblivion, dive into the abyss, and we'll draw a market cycle chart. Whenever a market cycle starts to pick up, there's lots of institutional money, super smart investors, the people that are building the project, they're all buying early on. And then the market starts to pick up a little bit. This is where retail investors and some retail investors start to get interested, where institutional money starts to really get interested. And that creates the first sell-off, where the market pumps and pulls back down to the area which it was kind of accumulating at over here, or building up, building its momentum. And then from that first sell-off, the market goes very, very parabolic on the upside. And this is where public starts to get interested. The media starts hyping it up. The public starts to hear about it, and everybody hears about it. And then you hit some resistance, you reject, and you drop back down to these support levels. So this right here in the market cycle is called the first sell-off. Like it just, it is what it sounds like. It's the first sell-off before you go parabolic. This right here is a parabola, or the new paradigm, or euphoria. I think that's how you spell paradigm. I don't know if that's right, but we'll call it good. For all the people that are super specific about spelling, you can be angry at me in the comments if you really feel like it today. I'm not going to worry about a little spelling error if I got one right there. All right, so, and then you get the sell-off, the real sell-off, or the bear market, or the correction, where the prices drop back down to a more reasonable state. So this is undervaluation, this is overvaluation. Halfway is the medium point, where its valuation is pretty average. And then this is, again, undervaluation, where you're back testing this first sell-off area. So keeping that in mind, understanding the market cycle analysis, it's actually very common for prices after the parabola to be made, after the new paradigm. Again, up here is new paradigm, or euphoria. It's just where everybody's super hyped in the market. It's actually really common for you to come back and test this area where the first sell-off was made. And we actually get that same thing that happened in Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin came back and tested into that section and found support kind of in that area right here. So kind of what I'm watching for Ethereum is a reversal pattern. So I made an update on Cardano yesterday. Go ahead and click on my YouTube channel, press Control, or if you're on a Mac, I believe it's Command. Press Command and just click on my channel so that it opens in a new tab. After this video, you guys can go ahead and check out my Cardano update. It's going to be useful to check that one out because we actually have a similar kind of analysis. Basically, in Cardano, we had an ABC correction. It happened ABC down like this. And then we had this first impulse and retrace. And Ethereum is doing the exact same thing. So what we're watching here in Ethereum is what's called a double bottom pattern. We have a low form right here. And then we have another potential low forming in this area over here. And then we have a resistance point right here. So you can label these by labeling this as a 1. The double bottom pattern is also sometimes referred to as a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So for this pattern to be validated, for it to actually play out, we need prices to find support at the previous support around the 1 wave. It can be above the 1 point where we labeled this 1 at. It can be like right here, a little bit above it, but it needs to find support in that area. So prices will need to bounce and then break above this 2 level. So where I drew this black line where the 2 level is made, we need prices to break above that level for the bottom formation to be confirmed. And once it's confirmed, this is actually the beginning of a new impulse, a new market cycle. So you guys really watch for that 1, 2, 3 bottom. Again, the price point is really between $364 and $305 at that 2 wave resistance, or that 2 point that we labeled. It's not necessary. It's kind of a wave because anything that goes up and down is a wave in the market. But I should just say it's a 2 wave label. So if we do go ahead and break above that 2 wave label, that confirms that this market cycle is done. So again, institutional money, smart money, the inventors of the coin, they're all buying it right here. Then you get that first sell-off where retail money, institutional money starts to get really excited. And then you get public. The public starts buying it, and they all start to get really excited. This is where, you know, your grandma's buying Ethereum. It's where people that don't even know what cryptocurrency is are starting to buy it. And because of that, it has to correct in value, and that starts the new cycle where all of that can repeat again. It's the cycle of human emotions. We trade human emotions. The reason for that is because once you learn how to identify those human emotions, you'll see them in yourself better. It'll take time. You'll probably have to ride a couple of these cycles. You might make a whole bunch of money, lose a good portion of it. You might have to feel some pretty significant emotions to recognize it better. But if you learn how to identify those emotions, you'll start to become more emotionless in the markets, where you're just at a state of understanding, of perception, of potentials, and awareness of what choices to make, rather than, oh man, I just made a whole bunch of money. I'm going to go put 8 Bitcoin on 100x leverage on BitMEX and put a tight stop loss and hope that I can make another million like this. You know, it's easy to get emotional at the start as a beginner trader. So targets for Ethereum. What could we see as potential targets? Well, you guys, honestly, in the long term for Ethereum, the valuation of its previous all-time high, I don't see that where we're going to stop. I think that we could see another amazing long-term growth curve occurring out of this market cycle. So one of the things that we can actually use is Fibonacci extension tools. And this is something that I teach in my VIP course and in the L8 Wave Power series. You can set these Fibonacci extensions, and when you zoom out and look at the big picture, these are all potentials in the next market cycle. You know, we could hit $2,500 per Ethereum. That's, well, 2409. That's actually the minimum extension for the 3-wave. So that's the minimum price point for the 3-wave to hit is the 1618. So $2,400 per Ethereum and above is all in our potential outcomes for the next wave of Ethereum. So if you're a long-term hodler of Ethereum, if you're a long-term hodler, then keep those Ethereum tokens. Yes, it's possible that support fails and it dies, but if you've held through this much already, there's no reason to panic sell at this point, in my view. This is not financial advice. This is my perspective. I'm not telling you exactly what to do. I'm giving you opinions and my viewpoint. But as far as I can see it, you guys, and as far as I'm documenting in my trading journal as of 11/26 of 2019, which is also my YouTube channel, Ethereum is just not something that I would take large selling actions on right now. If anything, I'd be interested at chipping away at buy orders, chipping little buy orders into it. And watching for the potential for this new cycle. If you want to be extra safe, if you want to wait for confirmation, then wait before you get crazy buying it until you break above this resistance level of 341. You don't have to be the first chicken in the coop. You just have to be one of the first chickens in the coop. So you don't have to be the first guy buying Ethereum at ridiculously undervalued prices, but you want to be one of the first people that starts to notice the reversals happening. And the best way to see that is when price makes that 1, 2, 3 bottom or double bottom pattern and breaks above this horizontal resistance. That's confirmation that the price has retraced significantly, bounced off of that retracement and reversed. It's called a phase shift. When you phase from a bear market and you shift phases into a bull market, you have to start to make higher highs because the trend has to form. So you have to bounce off the lows. So here's the bear. You have to bounce off the lows. You have to come back and retest those lows. And then you have to start making higher highs and higher lows, meaning that you break above this and you come back down. You test that as support, and you start trending in an upward trend because we've been in a downward trend since 2018. So that's the phase shift. That's my analysis on Ethereum, you guys. New all-time highs in the medium to long term is definitely what I would be watching for. And according to my trading journal, which is kind of the way that I look at this channel, is my journal of trades, which you guys can go back, look at all the stupid stuff that I've done. You can look at all the smart stuff that I've done, and you guys can learn from my mistakes. It's kind of the idea is that I'll go and I'll dive into the abyss. I'll make all the stupid choices. I'll make all the smart choices, and I'll come back and I'll teach them to you guys. So hopefully you guys don't have to get as burned as I have in the past, but you can also make as much as I have in the past, because the way that crypto changed my life and changed my finances is unprecedented to anything else that's ever happened to me. And I want to see that for other people as well. Go ahead and hit that like button, you guys. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate every single one of you. If you want me to make an update on Tezos, hit that comment section down below and say, Dallin, please make an update on Tezos, and I will make one tomorrow. And if you guys, again, have any questions, you can use the comment box below for those as well. Check out the Discord in the description box, and check out my website if you are interested in the VIP or taking your Elliott Wave trading to the next level with the Elliott Wave Power Series. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, stay profitable out there.